Everyone, it's Kim Stanwood Terranova here at Rythmia Life Advancement Center. It's our beautiful Saturday Facebook Live, and I'm so grateful because I have gorgeous Coco with me today. And Coco's been here all week having a transformative week that we want to share with you. So that way, if you're home wondering like, when am I going to Rythmia? What's it like? We're here to just express. So here we go, taking off for today. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you said yes. Thank you. Thank you. We even had to adjust schedules. It was like, oh no, I want you in this room with me. So this week, I asked you in the mornings, like, how are you feeling? How did you start? One word where you started last weekend and where you are now. What would that be? And you could go off on those words.
So I started confused and exhausted. And now I feel here. I feel right here, like exactly right here. And that feels exactly perfect.
Confused and exhausted to right here.
Right here.
And energetically, the vibration that I feel you in right now compared to confused and exhausted and here is presence.
Yeah.
And what's possible when we're in the present?
Everything.
Everything's possible. So if we look at confused and exhausted to present and everything's possible, how did you get to Rythmia? How did you get here? What brought you to us?
It's interesting. Like a lot of the people who are here this week, I know that God brought all of us here. This week for so many reasons. So none of us were supposed to be here this week. All of us were coming at another time or weren't coming at all, or we're going to Peru, like all the stuff, but all of us are here this week. And I know that like it's been such a learning to hear people talk about like some people are coming to work on physical addictions and like all the other things. It's like put this light in my face that, oh my goodness, I've been addicted to healing. It's really natural for me to be here because I'm the one who I was in EMDR therapy. I do a form of therapy called co-counseling, like grassroots therapy called co-counseling. I teach plant-based cooking classes. I pay attention to what I eat. I try to meditate. I do all the things.
Yes.
And still just, just could not figure out what I, before getting here, thought was wrong with me. I just assumed something was deeply genetically, energetically, spiritually must be wrong. There must be some unclean spirits walking around. Something just has to be wrong with me because I do all the quote unquote things right on paper and my life doesn't seem to match that intention. And so, so it was kind of an easy thank God thing for me. So I was actually one of the people who was supposed to be going to an ayahuasca retreat in Peru this same week. It got canceled because of COVID. And then a girlfriend said, hey, I'm going to Costa Rica for a few months. Do you want to come join me? And I was like, I wonder if there's an ayahuasca retreat in Costa Rica. And so I see the dates. I was like, no way. This was at the beginning of April. This was first week of April. And so I call and I'm like, no way. Are they going to have spots? And it was like, yes, that week's open. The week before it and the week after it, we're completely booked. But this week was open. So I was like, yes. Within the next week, I was booking. And 2 weeks later, here I am.
I love that.
Yeah.
So divine timing.
Definitely.
Divine timing of every individual that got here. I love that you pointed to that. Is that whoever's supposed to be in the room with you made it here. Like there was some agreement that all of you would meet right here for you to all get your work done.
Yeah.
I love that you know that the healing, the act of healing, but that intention was set in you a long time ago and you said, I'm like addicted to, I want to keep healing. But what was different this week on your healing? Because for you to be present, for you to be in the now and know anything's possible is telling me that looking, what you were searching for, what you intended for a long time ago came fulfilled.
Yes. Like so many thoughts, what to even pull out. The first night, so there are 4 ceremonies for ayahuasca. So the first night that we're doing ceremony, I spend the better part of the night thinking that nothing was happening. There's some very visual things that were happening for me. Your eyesight is like just magnify, everything's in, HD. But I was like, I don't really want to see that. I want to see with my third eye. Show me all the visions and the signs. And that's why I came here. And that's not what I got. on the first night. And so my teeth were like really, really achy. And that was my big takeaway, is that my teeth hurt. And I'm just like, why are my teeth hurting? I don't care why my teeth are hurting. Show me my little girl self. Show me my ancestors. Where's my spirit guide? Why am I seeing all these things in the physical? Like, what's happening? And so anyway, the mandatory classes that you're supposed to go to.
Did you like those classes?
They're wonderful. Go to class. If you come, go to class. Like,
so important.
They'll tell you over and over again, you got to go to class. You got to go to class. You have to go to class. And so you have to go to class. So I go to class. The very next day, disappointed. Everybody else saw Jesus and everything else, and here I am, like, I saw really big ants, and my hands are big, and kaleidoscopes, and my teeth hurt, and I'm very sad. And it was my birthday, you know, the first day I got here was my birthday, and so I had a lot of pressure and expectation. So anyway, on the first class that the next day, we were told, oh yeah, was anybody your teeth hurt? And I was like, my teeth, you know, were hurting. And so our teacher said that the symbolism of teeth hurting normally means that there was some trauma between ages 1 and 2 when you were first getting your first set of teeth, or between 5 and 8 or so when you're getting the second set. And that normally means that there's a surgery that's happening on you, like where things are literally being healed and like fixed and moved. And like one of the big questions that you're supposed to ask yourself is, show me who I've become. And it was in that moment of like just deep awareness that part of who I've become is someone that I could be in surgery and like I'm somewhere else. Instead of just like resting and being in surgery, I'm cooking, being a good wife, working, like trying to do all the things right, when I'm really just supposed to be there, like letting God do what God does. And the irony is that my son had a huge fall. I have a 3-year-old son. He had a huge fall. And I felt like a terrible mother for letting him fall. You know, like blood was everywhere. And he had this tooth. He has this little tooth where it looks like it's cracked. And 3 dentist visits later, we had an x-ray done and it's not cracked. It's like 2 teeth that have just been fused together. And the doctor's like, it's fine, da, 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 da. But I was obsessed over it, wouldn't let it go. My husband was like, Sakuria, like we can't keep taking him to the dentist. And so anyway, I kept taking him to the dentist because I would have this low-level toothache, but my teeth are fine. Nothing's wrong with my teeth for the better year and a half. And so it was just like boom, 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 boom. Everything made so much sense that, yes, I care about my healing. I care about my well-being, but don't go back home and be asleep to the fact that even when you're not aware of it, you're being healed. Like it's not.
I don't want you to miss that. That was a gem. But don't go back home and be unaware that even when you're unaware that healing is happening. Healing's happening. And you caught that message here. That's what's so miraculous, is that the way it shows up, like every piece adds to the next. You caught it in ceremony class. Somebody says something to open up that, whoa, this is how I've been living. And when we catch how we've been living and that we have a choice now, because you are seeing anew, whether it's for your son or yourself. Ooh, that's good.
It's so good. I'm just like,
that was night 1.
It's so good. And it's just, I'm stubborn. I can be stubborn, a slow learner, like to catch these things. And it's like, God had to show me for a year and a half. You've been like worried about your son's teeth. Like, stop worrying about other people's stuff. Work on yourself. Like, I'm working on you. So you can't make it up.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So each night you kept having different healings, right?
Yep.
Till what was the insight of all those healings for you? Besides that, which is such a gem of even as in the middle of surgery, I'm doing, right? So that insight. And what else? What else on that level of all this healing happening? What is your insight that brought you to the now and the present?
Again, such a big question.
It is a big question.
So one of my big takeaways leaving here is I don't have to know the how. I just have to breathe, just get back in touch with my breath. If I can just get in touch with my breath, then it'll remind me that I actually chose to be living, that I'm actually like right here in the moment, that this moment is intentional, that it's on purpose, and I don't have to
Yes.
be anywhere else. And if I truly feel like I don't have to be anywhere else, then I don't have to fix the thing that I think is to come. And so, yeah, I feel like that's probably the biggest nugget.
That
Some
was
others.
big. To let go of the how in our life builds trust, builds faith, builds everything to get back into that present moment. Imagine if we're all letting go of the how and just staying in the now moment.
Mhm.
Like your ability to be that and catch that this week and give it to your son and whomever else. I mean, your life, it feels to me, and you tell me, is it going to be different when you get home with just that pearl and all these others? You're giving me this look like, Kim, what a question. Is it going to be different?
Short answer is yes. Short answer is yes. And in the last ceremony, I cried saying, what if it's not? I've done a whole lot of things. I've seen all this stuff. Will I remember it all? Um, and during the last ceremony, like I ended up having, so one of the things you're told when you first get here is don't envy somebody else's journey. And so while everyone else was scared of the puking and pooping and all the things that they tell you about ayahuasca, I was like, yes, that must be exactly what I need, because there must be something on the inside that I have to get out. But first 2 nights, none of that. I now have the awareness that it was a different purging that I was supposed to be doing. But on this particular night, as I'm asking myself those series of things, like,
Yes.
I'm scared. What if I'm just the same when I get back, and I can't live in this bubble where everybody here, is like here for the same reasons, and
Yeah.
we're all, like soul community and stuff. Like, I have to go back to work. Like, what is that going to look like? And so she just let me wrestle with it. And it was just the same answer over and over again. It was, you'll just breathe. You just got to remember to breathe. You just got to remember breathe. And so there was one point where, like, it felt like all the air was being sucked out of the room, and I just could not literally breathe. And so like just these long, like exhausted, labored breaths. And I did it for so long that I was just like, it was you who said to give ourselves acknowledgments. And so I was like, I acknowledge that you're breathing.
Yes.
I acknowledge that you're actually just doing that you're really just breathing. And then I got like this point where like everything just like bubbled up on the inside of me. And I did have to do some of the other type of purging. And so Jerry says, when that happens, look at it and say, what is that? And so I looked at it in the toilet and said, what is that? And it says it's the insecurity and the doubt that you can't do this when you get back home.
Oh, that was good. It's you let it go.
Yeah.
It's the insecurity and the doubt that you can't do this when you get back home. Yeah. Okay, so you let go of the how. You let go of the insecurity and the doubt that you can't do this when you get back home, and you're living in the present moment that anything's possible. So from your week at Rythmia, I mean, this is just like so. I want to go and do that. That is beautiful. You're living it now when you get back home. And today in class, we were talking about it's by right of consciousness. You've cultivated your consciousness to go home, and that consciousness of you is re-entering with this awakening.
Yeah.
And that's what's possible. When we re-enter our lives with an awakened heart, nothing's the same.
Yeah.
Nothing's the same.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is brilliant. All right, now, what else at Rythmia besides those are really great nights? What else did you love? How do you feel about the spa and roots and
everything? So the food is incredible. And it just felt really good because, I have a 3-year-old son, a husband. I do the majority of the cooking, in our household. So to have such intentional, loving food.
Yes.
I've even heard it said once that there's more religion in a loaf of bread than in most pulpits, and however you feel about that. But I'm just like, there's something really, there's no intellect for it. You just know it when it happens. It's this deep nourishment, deep thoughtfulness and care for. So the food's incredible. Massage, yes, sign me up every day of the week. The massage was incredible. I really enjoyed the colonics too. So it just feels like every part of the program is just so thoughtful about like your entire well-being.
Yes.
And you all say it, several times that like the plant medicine, the actual ceremonies, that's just 50%, of the work, that the rest of it happens, when you get home. And so to have like this space of, like just having the experience of thinking about, your food in more intentional ways, thinking about, okay, like when else am I going to get a massage, when I leave here, the connection with the people, all the, exchanging of numbers in the Facebook group that's created for us. And like the, awareness of like, how do I do the self-care of making sure that I continue to stay in community and talks with people. So, and you just can't make this stuff up. Like I'm from Massachusetts. There's a whole group of people from Massachusetts. So we're planning to, get together and do some lunches. There are a few folks from Maine. We're going to get together. And so it's just like, just everything about it just feels really on purpose, intentional, and just a mirror up for around like, how do you recreate some of these experiences when you get back home? Because it's nice to be in Costa Rica and do it, but it's a lot of the things are possible to do back home.
Yes. Community, connection. I can't tell you how grateful I am to know that you caught that it was on point and purpose, that the exact people that came, that everything here is here for your growth. And so if you're looking at people and saying that maybe on the fence, like, I don't know, is Rythmia for me? What would you say to them? I'm sorry. I love how she keeps her giggle. It gets me. It's like, that's the answer.
I'd say, why are you watching this video? Like, why are you here right now? Just another huge teaching. Like, trust yourself. Like, if this is where you're supposed to come, and if it's not. And so if you're on the fence, I think setting the intention around, like, I'm open to everything that's for my good. And I think this will become clear if it's for your good or not.
I love how you just use those words, setting. So set the intention. Set the intention. My intention is to get clarity if I'm to be at Rythmia. Brilliant. Yours was a yes. The universe, you were going somewhere else and you landed right here. I'm so grateful you landed right here.
Me too.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. I got to look at her beautiful face all week. And most of the time up front in my classroom. So I was like, oh, there she is again. Yes, I'm knowing this for you as you go home. All that you have gained here, you're taking home and blessing everyone. So thank you. How sweet your son is. He's going to get mama when you get home.
Hey, baby.
So this is what life is like at Rythmia, as Coco just said. And we're really grateful that you're tuning in with us today. Come to Rythmia. Come see us. It's beautiful here. We're doing a lot of amazing work, and it's safe to come and grow, as you've heard. Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you to Coco.
Bye.